Hi everyone, I'm Catherine, the artist behind Bigelow Fine Arts. Back to the Insect Fun Fair. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome! I'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button and color along with me. I'm working from Kirby Rosanes' Worlds Within Worlds book. I post 3 times during the week, and I also have full palettes available for free on Patreon. Today is Butterfly Day. I'm only using a few colors that I will cycle through as needed. I use the first butterfly to get my colors right. I begin with a base layer of terracotta on the sections I want orange. I then bring in the orange to blend over top the terracotta. I added in some red on top to tone down the orange. I blend in more terracotta to fill in the paper more, followed by more orange, then more red. I didn't want the orange to be too bright, but until I got the black in place, I didn't know how orange to make the wings. They look really bright right now. I come in with the black and take several layers to really fill in the outer section of wing, also taking care to avoid the circles which I want to keep white. It is at this point that I realized the red was too red and the wings are not orange enough, but now I know how to blend the color for the next set of butterflies. I fill in the little circles with ivory to have something down on the paper. On to the next butterfly, which I will work up quite similarly, starting with a light base layer of terracotta over the sections that I want to be orange. I will fill in the circles with ivory, then bring in the orange to brighten up the wing color even more. I fill in the outer black sections with several layers, trying to get it as dark as I can. After I get the black in, I see that I can add in even more orange to brighten up the wings even more and to finish filling in the tooth of the paper. I generally keep layering until it looks good and the paper is nicely filled in. On to the next butterfly, and this one is a lot bigger. I begin with a layer of terracotta to fill in the orange sections. I'm not sure why I'm using terracotta, just something to fill in the paper under the orange. I come in next with the ivory to fill in the white dots. This is so I don't fill them in with black when I come through for that. I can still go over the ivory with black, but the ivory will resist a little of the black and I can erase it back. I add in a layer of orange over the terracotta, just a light layer to get some more color down. Now with the black, I add in as many layers as it takes to get the section dark. I am also careful to not add any black to the white spots. This takes some time and I can't rush it without it looking bad. Colored pencil work is a slow process and I like watching the picture come together layer by layer and section by section. The bright orange pops of color on the page with the black and white shaded flower actually looks really cool. I come back in with more orange and add in a couple more layers to brighten up the wings. To add in a little shading, I add some red to the base of the orange sections, then add more orange and feather the colors together. I touch up the black more, and that is another butterfly complete. This next butterfly, I change things up and start with the black. Adding in the black first will make it easier to see how bright I need to make the orange. I also wasn't sure with this pattern which sections would be orange, so I began with a known section, and that was the black edges. I am carefully going around the dots that will remain white. They are so small and fiddly to go around, but short of using something like a Posco pen, which may flake off later, this is the best way I have of doing these white spots. I decided to add in some black to one of the center sections of lines to break up the orange. Now with the terracotta, I am adding in a light layer to just barely cover the paper. Onto the orange, I am filling in the section to the color I want the butterfly to be. The more layers I add, the brighter the color will be, and it does take a couple of layers to really fill in the paper. I then come in with the ivory to fill in the dots. Next butterfly, and I am filling in the section with the dots using the black. This butterfly also has a strange pattern for a monarch, but I went with it, and I noticed that having an orange stripe on the outside of the butterfly gave it a very different feel. I give the black several layers to really get the color dark. Now with the terracotta, I add in base layers to the orange sections. I come in with orange and add in more layers to get a nice bright color. For the tail, I leave the outer section to add red to brighten that more. I touch up some of the black, then I come in with ivory to add a layer over the white spots. This top butterfly again has a different pattern, and I begin with black on the outside. I decided to stick with the monarch theme because they are really popping from the background. So I get down a few layers of black on the outside to make that dark. Then I add in a base layer of terracotta on the rest of the wings. I follow that up with orange to brighten up the wing with several layers, and now this butterfly matches the rest. Last butterfly, and I decided to have the black on the outside even though there is a band with dots. I fill in the outer section with several layers of black. I also fill in the body. I fill in the entire center section of the wing with terracotta. For the band with the dots, I will fill that in with red to make it darker, and I fill in the outer section with orange to make that nice and bright. I put black on the dots. I then add in some sepia for a little shading on the wings, and while I have it out, I touch up the other butterflies with sepia to give them a little shaping and dimension. Back to the last butterfly, and I touch up the black again to make sure I have it nice and dark. Thanks for joining me on these butterflies today. Let me know below or on social media if you colored along. I'd love to know how you did. I want to thank you all so much for coming along and joining in with me on this coloring journey. I appreciate all my subscribers, and I look forward to more of you joining in and coloring along with me. Please like, share, and subscribe to help that happen. Until next time, happy coloring.